Here we go. We coming for it tonight.
Shout out to the gentrified young. Tell them free my finger to you. In the days coming down the seconds on the timer. Still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy, learn to grow my own food. I don't like the look they give me in the whole food. When you stay ready, you gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm living because I'm heavy. But ain't sweet, tank we thin. My whole attitude on NC-Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob. That 400 years, I still ain't caught that. I take crack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out.
Yes. If you don't know that by now, you'll never know it. That it's a war out there. You need to look out. Keep your head on the swivel. Wow. I've been falling out early and getting up early, and I fell out and I said, oh no, I'm not going to miss out tonight. My sleeping patterns are changing, but I just realized Mr. Scurv told me, I said, well, listen, maybe I'll go up on the property with you tomorrow. She says, am I going tomorrow? Because tomorrow's Saturday. I said, tonight's Friday? Are you serious? I'm so focused on things that I didn't even know what day it was. It's not an Alzheimer's thing or an early Alzheimer's thing. It's a focus thing because the zone I'm in now is timeless. You get up and you do what you have to do. You get up and it's a mission for you to do every single day. And we can't forget that. It doesn't mean we have to be hyper intense all the time. But when that energy hits you, you have to just let it flow. You can't mess up. You have only but so many finite days on this planet, not to sound gory, but maximize what you do with your effectiveness. Whether you're enjoying the day or you're enjoying the day knowing that you're fitting in on your mission. But too many of us are thrown off with this. We have not trained as we should those coming behind us. The stresses and the things that are influencing them we're not aware of as much as we should. Some of us are, but most of us are not. You see, the enemy is so shrewd now. He knows we out of here in a couple of decades. Well, whatever time I'm out of here, I'm balling up my fist and I'm going to keep on swinging, keep on punching. I'm a destroyer of all the things that are fake. I'm the destroyer of all the people who are fake. I get them away from me. I run them off. I don't need nothing in my way. That's one of the songs I play every day. Move, get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. Get out my way with the gossip. Get out my way with the hate and the foolishness. And this one-man upmanship, these people who can't even deal with the attention that they get on social media and they walk around like they're on their own personal movie set. Nobody gives a damn about you if you're not about doing the work. We posture. It's celebrity night or day when we go to church. And the pastors want to hear themselves talk. Well, it'd be good to hear yourself talk if you were talking something to change stuff, but nothing has changed in our community for so many years. You can put up all the pretty churches and pretty buildings. You can get the good jobs if there are any left. But for those pencil pushers who think, yes, well, I've made it, you can make it too. It doesn't work like that. The masses of us are waking up to what's going on, but so many of us are not. They're just not. And it's so frustrating. I'm not going to turn into that dude who's got a big sign on, walking around talking about the end is near, the end is near. But what I will say is that we have to prepare. When you know you're going to war, don't you prepare? Don't you see how the U.S. military and other militaries, oh, we get ready to go to war soon, let's prepare, but you should have been ready. And we thinking that they're on our side. They're defending their own corporate interests. There's no sense of urgency in our community. As long as we get that paycheck on Friday or whenever you get it, direct deposit it into your account, you're okay. As long as you get that meal that you like to eat on the weekend, you're okay. As long as you can spend time with that significant other and get your thing on, you're okay. And they're targeting our children. That's why I put the pictures of the children up on the banner. But it's for us to all know. Mandatory tips, 10 of them, to survive this wicked world. Yes, there's 100 of them for us, probably 1,000. But just off the dome, I wanted to speak on this so we can focus on our children, to undergird them, to keep them strong. Like I said, they're going after our children. This damn rainbow foolishness to confuse them. Hormone experiments. What's his name? Dwayne Wade? What kind of tap dancing down low brother coon is that to do that to his son? And get awards and we're so proud of him and whatever. Y'all are sick. All of y'all who think about this mess and applaud that mess, you're sick. And we're at war. This is what they want for all of us, to walk around confused. Did I say anything? I can say rainbow. I didn't say anything bad that YouTube, they dying to get me. I'm on a roll. I might have missed a night or two of a live stream in adjusting myself, but I did throw up some recorded stuff. A couple of righteous cheese doodles that we can snack on until we get home to dinner. I want to thank everybody for being here, those who are here. And we got Ryan Small, and of course, early on, Landon Price, Patrick Gilbert, Kevin Clark. Yes, indeed. You woke me up with that mess. Sister Oyala, I love you. Miss Cool Gemini, we're here. I'm feeling it tonight. Every now and then, you know, like a car that kind of bucks, boop, boop, comes out the exhaust, it comes out on me. This is not the world that we signed up for. At least from my generation, this is not the world that we signed up for. Sometimes I wonder, even if I was living back in New York, what kind of place is this? What kind of planet are we living on? How they hoodwink us so fast? I mean, I'm going through my own changes of adjustment. I keep forgetting. This is 2023. What world am I living in? I dream in the 1970s and 1980s, the early 80s. I'm still back there. I'm not living in the past, but I'm doing what I can for the future. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I got a big mouth. I got to use it. A lot of young ladies know me for using it for a lot of other things too. And we spoke on that. I just dropped a video on a succubus and that old player. It wasn't live streamed. It was just dropped right on the page. So make sure to check that out. Those are short ones. But I know there are people who are younger than me, don't understand. Yes, Miss Cool Gemini, take the damn cell phones back. Take the damn computers back. Take YouTube back. Give me the old 45 RPM records and the 33 and a third RPM records. Put that red light in the living room, put the chairs around if you don't have a basement, and let's slow dance to some old music. Major Harris, the time is right. Hold me tight. And we didn't even have to, I mean, this thing lasted for a long time. Keith Washington, kissing you, loving you all through the night. Those are the songs I was playing earlier. I said, what the hell happened? What the hell happened? We had some good parties back in the 70s in Kevin Clark's basement. The real way, family, we loving each other. You can put your wallet down. You can put your keys down. You can put your drink down and nobody's going to put nothing in it. There was always maximum respect. And if we didn't have know you, you better watch because we're all watching you. But it was all love. That's the world I grew up in. But this foolishness, this mess that we're in now, that we didn't create, that we thought everything was going to be all right. No, we are at war. And they want our babies. If you got grandchildren and children, they want them. They want them drugged out. They want them confused and not knowing who they are to the max. Now, behind closed doors, whatever you do, diddling, whatever. Look, I have no problem with nobody if you kept it behind closed doors. But have a sense of normalcy in front of the children. Now they got people going into the schools looking like Bozo the Clown or Ronald McDonald, talking about how 2 young boys can have sex or 2 young girls can have sex. They don't even have the hormones hitting them yet. Why are you putting this as a foundation and an imprint in their mind when they should be learning something? Whoever this is, whoever these people are, whoever ordained this, y'all are wicked. I got to be careful what I say, but you know I want to say a whole lot more, and I will be saying some things and putting them up on Patreon. I haven't done anything in the last few days, but I'm going to do something scathing. I'm going to say I'm saying how I really feel, but this is the PG version. I know them YouTube people are watching. Just let them mess up. Just let them say something wrong. But I have to show passion tonight, even though I'm a little fatigued. I'm a fighter, even though I'm not a fighter like Kevin Clark, but I'm a fighter in my spirit. And I'm going to tell it what I feel. You're right, Miss Cool Gemini. People knew each other. The neighborhood looked out for each other. You wouldn't dare disrespect the next person's mother, even if you didn't get along with them. You always showed them respect. And the sisters in the family, as they walked through the neighborhood, they felt safe. We were always there. Yeah, the other channel's talking cold. You know, I mean, they don't really want to talk even as much as they do in that little watered down code that they do, but they don't want to say it. Our children are targets. So we have to undergird them. And I'm going to go down a list and talk about it. The list I jotted down. And I want us to just remind ourselves that we need to do this a little bit every day in our lives, because we have our children before the world grabs them. And the mistake that most of us make is that we assume if we raise them the way we were raised, it's going to be all right. But what the enemy has coming for us and our children is super strong that we didn't see from before. It's strong. They're getting them in the schools. They're tagging you on social media. They're finding out what you're all about on social media. That's what they're doing. That's the purpose of it. They gave it to us like it was a free thing, and we just flocked to it. We sucked it up. Oh, man, we ain't got to make no long distance phone calls with a calling card no more and pay all that money. We got WhatsApp. But the government's right there listening to everything you're doing. And they have the capacity to listen to everybody and categorize you. Categorize you to know how you stand politically, spiritually, your viewpoints, your ideologies, how you were raised, all of that good stuff. But we didn't know that because we saw the free ride. Wow. We can send text messages. We can do all of these things for free. Why my phone start going crazy? I just shut them off right now. I don't want to hear the phones right now. I just want to zone out. This might be not as long, might be an hour or so. If some of y'all want to call in, I'll drop the link and I'll let you come on in. But let me start off with this list right now. I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to look at the chat room every now and then, but here it is. For our young Black children. Why does it have to be black? Why are you always talking this black talk? Because our asses can't go anywhere without getting shot, chokeholded, harassed in America, spelled with 3 Ks. So we need to know a little bit more on how to navigate the system, because all of us that have come up, and those problems were around at that time too, but those of us who came from homes that gave us the mental strength and knowledge and instruction, we knew how to get around things. And even when we knew how to get around things, those forces are coming at us, but it's coming at us full force now. They want us destroyed. We're like that old tool. You know when you get an old tool from Home Depot or Lowe's and you need it bad, and you were doing a project, you say, oh man, I forgot that I needed this tool. See, that's what they did. They needed us as tools. That's why America has gone on as long as it is, and it says it's a great nation. Well, if you had free rent and free labor for hundreds of years, you better damn be doing something and get pumped up about it like y'all did it. You didn't do it. But like that old tool that they think that they don't need anymore, you want to get rid of it. I don't need it anymore. The job is done. Give everybody else their white privilege card and get the Negroes out of here. We don't want them to be the reminders of what we done. See, America sees black folks like that rapist who was well liked in the society and has position, who raped that woman who didn't have position, but she's alive. And every time there's a function, every time there's an event, she's in the back looking at him. And it makes him feel funny because he knows what he did. So they watch us on social media talk about these things, even when it's public or either private, and they know an eruption is about to happen. And again, like I said, this is why they choose these so-called black leaders out here as pressure valves to let off the steam. You see what I mean? A good wife knows how to do that. She wants to buy that fur coat the next day. There's money on the credit card and money in the bank. But she gets down on her knees to please her husband. And as he's basking in the afterglow of his orgasm, honey, can I purchase that fur coat tomorrow? And he's looking at the mirror at the bottom of the bed and look at them thighs and that backside and how happy he feels. His balls are empty and the stomach is full. Sure, honey, anything you want. So to keep that thing from building up, they get these self-appointed black leaders that they ordain, and behind closed doors, the enemies of us speak to those who look like us. Hey, Al. Hey, Jesse. You can talk about us as bad as you want. Make it rhyme. You know how you black folks like rhymes, like the rappers. And the black folks will feel some sense of relief and some sense of justice. And they'll go on back to the malls, to the Korean hair spots. They'll go to the club and shoot each other up. All the statistics of crime are up. More black people are killing each other. We don't have to do as much. Less court cases and money paid out. Reparations we'll never get. Y'all are hanging on. No, you are your reparation. Do what you need to do for yourself. If they give it out, I'm going to take it, but you better take it quick. Because like I said before, the day that they give out reparations is the day that the dollar is going to finally crash. Let's play tricks on these Negroes here. That's how they do. They're so deceptive. So like that old tool that doesn't have a purpose in their world anymore, they're ready to get rid of it. It was precious for a while, but now they have no use for you. Unless you want to sit around and shuck and jive and coon and tap dance for them. Make them laugh. Keep a few of them around to make you laugh. I have some friends that are black, colored, Negro, Afro-American, whatever name it's a name change every couple of years back in the day. And again, it should not be African-American. It should be American-African. African should be last. Your last name denotes a relation to the people in your family. You don't say Clark Kevin. You don't say D Sweet. You don't say Ra Naima. You don't say Scurv Lance. That don't tie us together with nothing. We need to name ourselves and stick with it. And we're global. So if you're Brazilian African. Yeah, you can claim the land that you want because we're people of the planet. We're the original. We have the right to roam this whole earth. You go up to the North Pole, you see the Eskimos. They ain't white. They got color in them too. So there you go. Melanated people all over the world. And the more they dig, they have to admit that we are. And could you imagine what they're hiding from us? Oh, Go over there to where with the Catholics, right? They got the books, all the stuff over there. You'd be surprised. But they want to keep us in a state of low self-esteem, unworthiness, and defeat. That all we think we can do is, oh, I want to be the next LeBron James. No, that should not be the aim. Oh, I'm going to be the next Mike Tyson. Fine and dandy if you are, but we need more diverse types of people to run our community. I'm going to be the next rapper. And then when you're the rapper, ordained by them, you're going to have to get some street cred. So you're going to have to do some time, get shot or get killed so they can use your masters to make them more money because you're worth more to them dead than you are alive. But you don't understand the game. You don't see them old rock stars that have been doing drugs and all kind of crazy stuff. They still around with their old dried up behind, doing concerts and tours, and the people in their generations are supporting them. It's crazy when you look at TMZ, Third Mile Zone, run by that gay man that I know and I used to work amongst. You know his name, HL. They love us that way. We're in our lowest form. They don't speak on anything good. The media is controlled by your enemy. You can say Fox, you can say CNN, ain't none of them like us. We're like a ping pong ball hit between. And here we are arguing over things that have nothing to do with our ascension. Because as good as they say politics are, what the hell has it done for us? Some of us, oh, Barack Obama was president and Oprah, she made it. Well, she's a witch. She's a carpet munching witch under control of them. Let her break out revolutionary and say something. You think that they won't get rid of her? But she gonna jump through the hoops, and we aspire thinking the system is so fair, but it's not. You can't get nobody pregnant jerking off and spilling your seed on the ground. You gotta put it in somebody's womb. Why did I say something like that that seems so nasty? Because we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it to hit the symbolic egg of success. That's just the way it is. I can't believe how fast this time went. I got so much fire in me. I'm gonna hit me 100 years old, unless some accident happen. I can't see how you could just, the least of us, and I don't mean we're less, but the weaker links on the chain that don't know. Some of them don't want to know. Some of them want to wallow in decadence. Some of them want to stay there. They don't want to understand that there's something bigger and more righteous to do. Well, you stay there. But we still need to reach back to the weak chain or weak link in our chain, because it's that weak link that's going to pop and we're all going to fall apart. You tell me how many people walk around in a suit where the thread is pulled out. You pull that main thread out your ass and everything is going to be exposed. We're all one, yet we're not monolithic. I'm not trying to say be on the same spiritual level or have the same. There's too many cultures of us all over the world, but they're afraid of us unifying, knowing that we have cultural differences and different spiritual practices. But if we can see ourselves with the Aboriginals in Australia, that's our family. They're being done wrong. You know what I mean? We're in every country of the world. But as Americans, we put our nose up on our ass up on our shoulders. And we look down on others. You know them old commercials that used to come on late at night with the big belly babies and flies flying around? Send your money to CARE. $20 can, or no, $10, I think it was, can feed a young hungry child for a whole year. And these liberals with their white guilt, they want to get rid of it. They get people fired off of jobs. They lock up people that are innocent. So to relieve their guilt, they tell themselves, I gave $10 to CARE to the poor African countries. The only reason why there are African countries over here that are poor is because someone else came and inflamed the little tribal rivalries, handed both sides guns, and waited for them to kill each other off. You mean we're sitting here on the equator? The richest soil, you see my videos, man. Even in the city, the soil is red. And you go up in the mountains by my property, you see all that stuff Mrs. Scurv is growing up there? And she just been planting. Another year or two, it's going to be straight. You won't be able to see the sky. Mangoes hitting you in the head, tripping over watermelons. But they want you to think we're poor over here. And the leaders over here compromise. That's the only way they can do that. So they're not down with us. We still got to work independent. And even over here, you got the coons that want to act over and above everybody and not want to educate. Because there is a lot of ignorance here as to what's going on in the world. White Jesus. I had 3 of them follow me that I'm walking down the street. I said, do you really want to talk with me? Oh, brother, I know who you are. I see you on the YouTube. I said, well, let me pull out my camera and let's both talk. No. I know how you talk. Well, if what you got is so strong and so necessary, talk with me. But you know you look like a fool talking that stuff in the midst of what's going on in the world. And you want to do the same tried and true chants and, well, this scripture, that scripture. If I'm a mechanic, how am I going to keep on reading the book on how to be a mechanic on different models, vehicles of cars, and not finally get up under there to do what it is that I have to do? All y'all are doing is posturing and posing. Posturing and posing. Because the stuff that you talking from that book, unless you put action to it, it's dead. It's dead. And this is why you find yourself in these conditions, no matter where we are in the world, it's jacked up. We can find spots and places where some of us who have made it can get away from that, but it's in your face. You leave your home and you drive down the street. You see somebody hungry. You see all the homeless in America. You see all the overdoses of people who are addicts who may have been once brilliant, but their hope was smashed. They gave up. Then you want to look down on them, push them to the side. New York will send them on a bus down to Florida, get them all out, shift them. You don't just doodle in the toilet bowl and just don't flush it. You got to flush it and clean it out because it's going to begin to stink. And if you're eating bad, here come the pimples because the system is a stink. And you got to go now and clean the system up, but nobody wants to do it. They just want to preserve a little bit for themselves and move on, and it's your problem. And some of us are just so scared to talk. It doesn't mean anything that I came to Africa. I moved from one place to the other, but folks understand how I think in the long term, so it's much more than that. And it's not for everybody to make a move like that, but I know what I'm doing. Me and Mr. Scurv know what we're doing solo. And we're going to take time and move ourselves into a higher position by ourselves. We don't need no turncoat, inner circle face, false, fake ass prophet talking fool around us. We had to clean house forever. Because once people show their hand to you and they're over a certain age and they're not mentally retarded or developmentally delayed, they played their hand. Ain't no going back off of that once you throw me under the bus. You stay your ass right there. And I'm watching you. And I got something for you if you come near me. I only have but so many decades to live. If it's that many, I'm not wasting one thin second. It's got to be what it is. I said I was going to read off of this list. Number 1. We should enforce this with our children, keep putting it in their head and have discussions about this. Not just tell them and throw a book at them. Sit down with them from young so they internalize these things. So the fact that they have this knowledge alone is intimidating to anyone of the enemy who comes at them. And what is that? Number 1, know your rights. It's important to be aware of your legal rights and protections, both as a citizen and as a black man or black woman. Educate yourself on your rights when interacting with law enforcement and all others, as well as your rights in the workplace and other settings. The workplace can be a real vicious place. You driving to work and you despising it. Oh, I can't wait till I get out of that job. I can't wait till the day is over. Thank God it's Friday. Bringing you stress, bringing you sickness. You don't have clarity of mind. You're driving down the street knowing you're living a clean life, and here comes some of the crooked cops. I do know a handful of good cops, and they know a lot of other good cops. I can say that. I'm not going to throw them all under the bus, because I personally know those who would go to bat for me regardless of what. But it's those who are crooked, and there are a lot more than we know, because I'm privy to information from that faction. Some have no balls. Some didn't go into the job for the right reason. And I know some who did, and they couldn't believe what they see. And the standard of law enforcement has dropped. And you say, well, how has it dropped when it already fell? Yeah, it's been bad for us, because those are the overseers. They call them officers now, like KRS once said, officer, overseer, officer, overseer. But many have no integrity. So you have to be on your P's and Q's when it comes time to dealing with that, because that's very intimidating to them. You watch these programs, you watch these videos on YouTube with police stops that are being videotaped by citizens and the wrong things that they try to get away with until they are put in check. That's the power of knowing your rights. Number 2, take care of your mental health. Racism and discrimination can take a heavy toll on mental health. So it's important to prioritize self-care and seek help if needed. This can include talking to a trusted friend or family member, seeking professional counseling, or practicing mindfulness and stress-reducing techniques. You get all kinds of people coming over here and trying to act like this invisible thing. When I say invisible, it's very much visible to us. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying that if you use your physical eyes, you can lie to yourself and say it's invisible. And those who don't dig us and those enemies of ours always act like we're overreacting. But when you feel this thing and it raises up your blood pressure, stresses you out, this is what they want. So if you're going to do that to me, I'm going to be a nightmare to you. I've been through enough of this in America, and I see the effects of it for those who are coming over here. And I see the effects of racism over here in an invert way from the colonized mind, in the religion that pushes this thing. They'll stare at my own brothers and sisters here in Ghana, will stare at me all kind of ways. Oh, look, a brony. He's foreign. But you get a group of white people walking down the street with cameras and videotaping, and they're, oh, hey, can I help you? Oh, you have some dust on your shoes. Can I wipe it off? Now, I never saw it that bad, but that's the mentality. Yet many here want to be Americanized. I don't understand it. And you try to say, hey, I'm your brother. You're American. I am Ghanaian, and he's a Nigerian. I don't trust him. You see, who made the imaginary borderlines? Who took a stick and drug it through the sand in the dirt and said, well, that's this country and this is that country? And all of us look the same. All of us are the same. You take a Nigerian and you take a Ghanaian and tell them to bend over there and take a dump, and the stuff will come out looking the same, depending on how much jollof rice each one ate. That was a joke. But on mental health, the mind is a very strong thing, but you have to feed the mind. You have to nurture the mind. You have to program your mind, because the programming that's coming to us through social media and to our children through social media, and what they're seeing on the TV and what they're told to in the school and what they're seeing in the street and what's even now acceptable in the church will have you mentally sick. And that's the way they want us to accept their foolishness. Like they will induce sickness on us by having the chemtrails being sprayed, having the toxic water. You don't know what's dumped in that free water that you get out the tap. You got stuff, medications that people dump inside their drains. And you wonder why you're up one day and you feel depressed the next, because you don't know what you're ingesting. And then you may be taking medicine for something that reacts with that, and then in the food or the chemicals. The attack is on us and been on us for the longest time. All of these thousands and billions of dollars for cancer research. Let the Pope get cancer. Let the president get cancer. You won't even know about it because it'll be cured in a heartbeat because they know. Let them get AIDS. And you know a lot of them Catholic priests. They love playing around in that back door. Let them get it. It'll be cured so fast. But us, the working class people who have some sense, who want to do right by our children, who all we want is good schools, good homes. We're not saying they have to be mansions, good health care. But all of that is turned against us. You can't even say certain things on social media against the agenda of what had us wearing the mask because the World Health Organization said this. What are you, pimping me? This is my body. The hell you telling me? I'm not doing any of that stuff. The only jab I'll take is if I'm in a boxing match sparring and you jab me in my head, but that's about it. And if you try the other way, you're going to get a right cross and a left hook, and you're going to see who's going to take it. I mean that. We don't even have the rights over our own bodies when you think about it. And we go into these hospitals and we're toe tagged and they tell us anything. But I bet you one thing, our organs are shipped somewhere else. So when you have someone who transitions, you make sure to stay with that body. Take shifts if you have a big family. Make sure that they don't do something like that because that's big money. And here you are, somewhere as a blue collar worker, can't even afford the health care or the co-pays, and you sitting up there waiting for a kidney, yet there are 3 or 4 kidneys ready for a human, but they get shipped out of the country to some billionaire who's got liver spots and probably a couple of years away from 100 years old, and he done changed that 3 or 4 times. They love that hood, black, Negro, Chicago, New York, Compton, shootout, black nigger kidneys because they're stronger. They know all parts are stronger. You know when you get an American car, you're only guaranteed about 100,000 miles. And if you care for it, maybe a little bit of his garage kept. But you know you get that Japanese vehicle, you can damn near dog it. You're going to get 500,000 miles out of it. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And even though we may be on an inferior diet en masse, guess what? We still strong. Like they said in F the Police, still getting swole off bread and water. Guys locked up, eating inferior food, doing their push-ups and workout, not getting no sunlight, not getting no good food, and still becoming muscular. We don't die, we multiply. We are strong, but we can't take our strength for granted. And we can't focus our strength in one area of our existence. You walking around, they want you to be the big buck. The big Negro who says, hey, buck, I bet you can't lift those boxes from over here and over there and stack them neatly. I bet you can't do it. Yes, I can, massa. Yeah, I can do it. I'm strong. No, you stupid. And you're not mentally strong to see that he's playing you. And that's what they do to us on these jobs. If you do this, I'll give you a promotion. And the person that comes after you, that is below you, and you're telling them all your tricks of the trade, they end up being your supervisor. And now you got mental health issues thinking this person was going to be fair. How about that? There is no fairness in that system. Like they say in boxing, protect yourself at all times. Number 3, build a supportive network. Surrounding yourself with positive influences in a supportive community can help provide a sense of belonging and help you navigate challenges. It doesn't have to be anybody that lives next door to you. When we say community, we got to start thinking global. See, if you live in Connecticut and I live in New York, we can't say, well, you're from Connecticut and I'm from New York. Look, you in the skin that I'm in, We going through the same thing, and we have a common enemy that wants us wiped out. Oh, you're talking so violent, Lance, like it's going to be a war. Well, we're already in a war. You don't give a damn when you see us shot down. You don't give a damn when we have all these weird diseases and you give us these toxic drugs to take care of it and it kills us off. We are dying, but we're still here. And the fact of the matter is that we're going to survive and we're going to win. We're going to win this thing. See, they ain't going to tell you the sun don't like them, burns them at its sight every time. Their birth rates are going down. Oh, I got banned for saying that the last time. So you may not see me for a week after saying that. They did that. So I'll still be uploading video from Rumble to LanceScurv.com and be even more vicious and come back swinging just the same. But we can't lie. You want me to lie about reality? I try to fact check everything I say. I kind of know where the parameters are. But why don't you want me to talk? Why are you shadow banning me? We know why. We know why. And the other coons that are out there trying to get likes and hits, and I can't go out like that to get a few baubles and rubies and trinkets from the massa. Look, I got a lot of followers. Yes, I do. But who are you affecting? And who are you infecting? Because I know personally people I've talked to that have dealt with many who you know, and they in it for the money. And the government coddles them because the government is going to give them their orders soon to deceive you, but you trust them so much. They ain't got no track record. They allow them to grow. But when you dig a little deep into that past, you get to see what it really is. I know one thing. I got a black wife, number one. How am I going to tell you something about your black behind and I go and lay up with a white wife? Dig a little deeper. Check all my major relationships, even some of the one-night stands. Sisters, didn't take advantage of them. We just agreed to do what we do. We were feeling it. No, I don't get down like that. How dumb can we be? If I can't grab somebody that looks like my mother, you understand? And that's an affront to my mother that I'm going to go find somebody else when there's so many beautiful, strong, mentally brilliant black sisters all over the world. I don't care if it's a so-called drop-dead gorgeous white woman and you say that this woman that's black makes Lizzo look slim and she might be considered ugly. I'm going for that one. You know why? Because I can help her with her weight. I can love her and our energies will connect in a special way that great things will come out of that union. I'm on a mission with my life. And if I was single, I'd be on a mission with my dick. Yes, I would. I told Miss Scurv the other day, I said, if I was single, I would have a lot of children more. I would give out my sperm to my sisters and be there. Now, I'm not a millionaire to take care of them that way, so I wouldn't overdo it, but I would give of myself full time. Yes, I would, because as much as they're killing us off, just make sure who you're having children with. Make sure you have a system, a support system to raise them, because you see, sometimes they hide their feelings of what they're going through. And our children know more than what we like to think. They know what's going on in the world more so. They're more durable. And we have to support their mind and make them feel secure. Because look at us as adults who now, lots of times we're feeling insecure because nuclear bombs could be dropped any day. The crash any moment. The world is changing fast, yet we're distracted. So we got to keep them in reality in a way where we keep it balanced without the scare tactics, but undergird them because they are our young warriors. Number 4, be aware of stereotypes. Stereotypes about black men and black women can be harmful and perpetrate systemic inequalities. Be aware of how stereotypes may affect the way you're perceived by others and work to counter them. That's right. But they push on Instagram and YouTube the ratchet fights, the low-level communications between each other, black men against black women against black men, black trans. What the heck? I'm old school. Only trans I knew growing up is Trans Europe Express. That's all I knew. Maybe the word transparent. Transatlantic slave, but trans? And they got you mentally confused. We supposed to, look, I'm not doing anything to any human being. And I'm not going to allow anything to happen to any human being that's moving about and minding their business. I won't stand for it. That's the right thing to do. But if you out there sashaying and fooling men, taking them home and realize you both got the same ding, ding, dong, ding, 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 dong, you on your own. First of all, we're so over-sexualized that we put that on the top of everything. How a man gonna wanna take shots, chop off his penis, shoot up some estrogen titties, get some BBLs, butt cheeks, and you still growing a 5 o'clock shadow with wide shoulders and a big ass Adam's apple, and you go, what kind of Halloween foolishness is this? You're a black man. They love to have us the face of their decadence. I mean, the enemy has theirs too, but they push us as that. We're the dookie stick to clean up the street so they can play their game. You know the dookie stick. I told you about that back in the day. If you're playing football or baseball or just throwing a softball back and forth or just running around the street playing tag and some dog that made some doo-doo in the street, you break off a branch from a hedge and you use it to push that, and it moves like a hockey puck when it's dried up in the sun. You push that doo-doo somewhere else far away. There might be a stain that you avoid, but you're not going to get the full blast of it, and then you go on and play. But when the dookie stick is done, you throw it far away because you don't want to pick it up again because you don't want to pick it up at the wrong end. Huh? So we have become the dookie stick for them. To put the word out, we become the face of every bit of decadence, and it's not really like that, but they push it in their media. President Barack Obama gave a direct phone call to this basketball player because he came out. Really? Yet and still we're getting killed left and right, and he couldn't give a phone call for that except to say, pull up your pants. Only people gained who they call Latino and LGBTQ. And half the Latinos are black, but they're not going to give it to them. You better be white Latino. Black Latino? No, you better step back. People think of Cuba and say, all of these white Cubans in Miami. Most of the people in Cuba are black. And they came from the Ashanti region of Ghana. But most don't know that. Most don't know that 94% of black Jamaicans came from Ghana in their bloodline. That's a fact. But people don't know that. And they don't want to know that. They'll pull a Jody Watley. How many people here remember Jody Watley years ago? I'm looking for a new love, baby, a new love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see her coming out in the media more often now these days, but back in the day, when they asked her of her lineage, her bloodline, who she was, I don't remember exactly what she said, but I'll just pick a gumbo of different, well, I'm Dutch, and I'm Cuban, and I'm Scottish, and I'm this. I think she said Martian too. No, she didn't. I'm Martian, and both her parents are black from the South, dark black, beautiful black. But you claiming everything else. What kind of example is that? Come on. And we have, what's her name? The tennis player, the two sisters, right? The one that married the white man who has that social media platforms. You know, he's gunning for them dollars. He put another baby in her. Oh, congratulations. And you have a lot out here in Ghana going on those dating apps that are made for white men to meet black women. And half the time they want to knock you up because now your children will be Ghanaian and able to buy and own land, not buy and lease land. The Asians are doing the same thing. Bring a little money, just increase their life. Those who are poor, they want your womb. So your children come out Ghanaian, but they're behind the scenes pulling the strings and making money off the land here. And we got black folks, I ain't got nothing to do with none of them Africans over there. They ain't do nothing for me. It's nothing but mud huts over there. They ain't got no running water. There are places that don't have running water like that. But you don't talk about the trailer parks and the Billy Bobs who live worse than anybody could over here on a lower level. And they shut up when they see the advanced civilizations that are here. Go to my Facebook, LanceScurv, facebook.com, LanceScurv. I'm always posting pictures and photos from Kenya, from Gambia, from Zambia, from South Africa, from Kenya, even here in Nigeria, Benin, everywhere. Yes, there is poverty everywhere, more or less. Here in such a rich land, it's because of the crooked leaders. We got to understand that. You know, Ghana recently, they don't deal with the dollar anymore as far as buying oil and they have oil reserves here, but in their normal dealings, until they build that up, they're going to use gold to buy oil because there's so much gold here. Of course, you don't know this, many of you, but it was called the Gold Coast. You think it was the Gold Coast for nothing? No, lots of gold here. I've seen it with my own eyes. Now, you're not going to see something looking like a gold chain that you put around your neck. But I've been places here where I look down in the lake or next to a small body of water, in the stone that's right there, you see it glistening at you. You're like, oh, snap. Look at that. And the Chinese are coming here for it. They know what time it is. But we say, we ain't got nothing to do with no. So stupid. You got Jews who don't even live in Israel. Some of them never been to Israel. That's stolen land. And they could be somewhere in South America. They could be in the Philippines, but they keep up with what's going on in what they think is their land. We are a community that is worldwide, but we have the blinders on because of the divisions that our enemy created. He's Dominican. He's Mexican. He's from the north. We're from the south. We're the most sliced and diced people on the planet. And the way I think about it, I remember, what was it, Terminator 2 or Terminator 3? Terminator 2, when the one who had the metal body and he could shapeshift and make weapons out of his hand and everything, and Arnold Schwarzenegger blasted him. I think it was him who blasted him, maybe it was somebody else, and he fell into 1,000,000 liquid pieces. Little drops all over the place. And as they looked at it, those drops started slowly forming back together. And they knew they had to get that up on out of there because that body was going to come together. And that's what they fear of us all over the world. This is why they want to use the fake culture that we embrace as ours, and it's not ours. And we just suck it up. But it trains us to be hoochies. It trains us to be homo thugs, to be focused on things that don't even matter for the future. When things go down, you got to say to yourself, is this going to matter 2 days from now? Is this decision that I'm making now going to matter 5 years from now, 10 years from now? We have to always think longevity. Always. Every movement you do has an effect on your future, on your children's future, everything you do. I was listening to an interview of George Foreman, who recently had his movie Life Story come out. I got to make sure to see that. And they were saying, George, as we walk through your home, we don't see your championship belts. He had like about 20 cars in a big garage where he was living. And he earned it. He made more with the grill than he did in the boxing. He's a shrewd businessman. But he said, the reason why you don't see my heavyweight championship belts and other amateur accomplishments that I've earned is because I don't want my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren to be intimidated by what I've done. I want to amp them up. It's about them now. We know my life story. I got a movie made on me. We know that part already, but what about the continuation? It's about them now. So that's why, and this is what he said, I even continue to do business deals to better their future because I'm in a position to make the money that I could make. How many parents and grandparents and great-grandparents say stuff like that? Oh, you got to go on out there and better get it your own. I got mine. You better go on out there and get yours. Legacy. If you don't become a millionaire in this generation, maybe your next generation would if you undergird them. Now, it's not about the lust for money, but in this world, in this system, you need that until we all decide to barter, which with the mentality of the majority of us, that probably won't happen soon until they have to. But there's nothing wrong for continuing your ascension financially and then teaching your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren how to deal with that wealth. Because how many times have we seen people inherit things that they didn't work for, but it's in their bloodline, and they ended up piddling it away in a matter of years or even months, partying, hanging out, blowing it, thinking it's going to last forever. And your parents and your grandparents took their whole life and oftentimes came from nothing. And even if they didn't have anything to give you, they should have given you common sense. So we have to think about what's coming after us, because as we cycle back, there'll be a whole lot of things waiting for us that we did not expect. So we got to be careful of these stereotypes that they glorify. And our youth look at it like they want to aspire to that. They sagging their pants out here right now. Not everybody. And I'm telling you right now what they have in store for Ghana. They're injecting that LGBTQ thing. Dwayne Wade and his wife, Gabriel Union, if that's her name, them two freaks, they came out here. Kamala Harris came out here talking to the president, speaking about the whole LGBTQ thing. And she has money for him, dangling a little money. That money ain't going to go nowhere. Them leaders going to chew it up. They're going to hang out. They're going to womanize with it and get drunk. They want here so bad because they know that this land is the future. It's the future. Is good for all of us everywhere if we think a certain way, but they see how many resources are here. This is the food basket of the world. If you take Africa away, the planet dies. That's like taking your heart out your body and thinking you're going to keep on walking. No, you're not. You need that pump in your chest. But we don't see that. They will take things from here, do something to it, and import it back, and we buy back our own stuff over here. How stupid can you be? Number 5, pursue education. Education can be a powerful tool for social mobility and success. Pursue academic and professional opportunities that align with your interests and goals. And it doesn't always mean you're doing that to get a job. You're doing that to better your people because you better yourself, and your people now have a thinker. And instead of celebrating somebody who deserved to go to prison when they come out, free so-and-so, free Rollo. Man, we know you killed them 3 guys, man, but word, man, you a hero to us, man. You went through it. Now, we know how many of us feel about the white man's schools. But if we have the right mentality to go in and get out of it what we need, for those of us who go and those of us who just read the books or look at the YouTube videos or do a trade, we all can work in unison. It's not for everybody to have a master's degree. But if you take that master's degree and infuse your people with the knowledge that you have, and we put each other to work, oh, what an empire we can build. But so many of us get intoxicated with the positioning. Well, I'm graduated from Harvard and, I can't live here anymore. I must live in Prince George's County. And crime happens there too. We don't belong in the positions that we're in their world. We belong doing our own thing and being treated fairly in our exchange with others, but they don't want that. They don't want that. Number 6, practice financial responsibility. Financial literacy and responsible money management can help you build a strong foundation for your future. Learn how to manage your finances, save money, and make smart financial decisions. Brothers, I couldn't believe it when I moved down to Florida and saw a place that was called Rent a Rim. Rent a Rim, y'all. You have these cars sitting up high, they call them donks, sitting up on old rusty rims. And for the Florida Classic, the football game, they want to dress their car up and drive around with these expensive rims, paying lots of money just for 2 or 3 days to front in front of the women. Engine ain't been tuned up, oil ain't been changed, but you got some pretty rims on your car. Oh, boy, them rims look nice. Come on and ride with me, girl. All right. And you get knocked up by a guy because he got pretty rims and you thought he had money or you thought he was hustling. What kind of stupidness is that on a financial level? Look at us before the 2008 crash happened. And they were getting rid of homes left and right, meaning that they were, you want to sign? No problem. Credit's good. You say you make that much? Oh, okay, we won't check. No credit check. And when those interest rates went up on the ARM loans, right? It went from $800 to $2,100 to $3,500. And when you got that loan, you took that and bought you a nice big SUV with some rims and the TVs behind the headrest and the surround sound system, everything in there. Now you're breaking off parts of that SUV to sell like a piece of turkey in the refrigerator in the middle of the night when everybody's sleeping and you just eating and drinking out the carton of orange juice. Let me get a piece of that leg. Let me get a piece of that breast. Eating and farting in front of the refrigerator late at night, hand on the hip. You got to sell this stuff now to be able to stay in that house that just skyrocketed in price over you. Why couldn't you have been smart and at least get a fixed rate? Don't get no balloon on the bad boy because it's going to visit you at the end. But most people don't know about that. They don't care. I got me a new house. You don't own it until it's paid off. You don't own it unless you come out here to the motherland and build something much more affordable, better, more solid. And when it's done, you ain't got no mortgage. I don't understand it. And even if you don't want to do that, get something that fits you. Get something that doesn't put you in a bad financial place. You've got to sacrifice. Just because I tell you I can give you a loan of $500,000 don't mean you have to take that money because there's interest on it. And you get a nice house and you can't really, $150,000 is kind of hard pressed these days. I understand that. But back in them days, you can do that. And after everything crashed, we saw a house across the street, same size and everything, $99,000. And before the bubble busted, it was up near 400, which maybe that was around the time we should have cashed out and came to the motherland back then, but we didn't know. But we held on. We had a very small mortgage. We didn't get caught up or refinance and no, that's not your money. That's why this credit thing has so many people messed up. If you can't buy it with cash, you better save and do without. Old school. What's the other thing we did? When you paid down on something in the store, what was the exact terminology for that? Pay as you go or pay down or something like that. I forgot the term. Let me go look at the chat room. Maybe somebody here knows it. I haven't been even looking at the chat room. I don't even know if I'm muted or fell off or anything. Exactly, raw reality. Property taxes. Exactly. They take the whole thing. Need to come and consider some different countries where the property taxes are like so low. Go up in the mountains somewhere. I think we're going to pay like $40 a year. Shoot, I'll pay off the next 10 years. The next 20 years of property taxes. They're going to get you one way, eminent domain, or they'll rise up everything else around you. As the more affluent people come around, you got to pay those fees. Homeowners insurance, homeowners organization, rather. Oh, right, layaway, Monk, thank you. What did I say, pay as you go? I'm a little fatigued, but I had to get down tonight. I'll look at the comments in a second. I just want to keep rolling this way. Number 7, stay physically healthy. Taking care of your physical health can help you stay resilient and better equipped to handle challenges. Make time for exercise, eat a balanced diet, and prioritize getting enough sleep. Bam! That's my problem. But as you well know, I've been working on it. Even if I have to do my shows much earlier, I've been falling asleep from like 8, 9 o'clock this week, which I'm 4 hours ahead of you. So if I fall asleep at 8, that means 4 o'clock in the afternoon for you. So for the 6 o'clock show, that's a 10 o'clock show for me. It ain't been happening. But I've still been recording things. I may have to pull it back because I've been jumping up the crack of dawn. Now, tomorrow's Saturday, I'll wake up an hour or two later. I had to do this one tonight. I couldn't mess up. You know, I'm driven and I'm focused, but the way and the level of fatigue that I felt those last couple of days as the early evening came up, it was like too much. That was my body saying, hey, you've been pushing it for many, many years. I've been doing this internet stuff for a long time and staying up late, working night jobs, staying up late. So I got to pull back. I'm not going to slow down on the content. I got to pull back. I got some content from Queen Midas that I'm going to put up tomorrow. If you're out here, Queen Midas, and you're listening, I didn't forget you. But there's a couple of little parts that got cut out with the signal and everything, and I got to fuse them together and make some sense of it. And most of it is good. Don't worry about that. What she was speaking about was damn good. You're going to love it. So of all those who share content like that, and I put it up, fine. We have a couple of them that kind of disappeared, and they can disappear. I'm not going to get caught up in their funk. And I say it that reason. I'm not disrespectful to anybody who comes in, but listen, y'all, for the inner circle, we got to have that private chat again. I'm not going to be accused of being some agent or accused of being some whatever for somebody's delusional, whatever. People can pick up on things after a while. But I'm still going to be here regardless. I welcome all, but I ain't going to get caught up in the funk. I'm not here for that. The next one is number 8. Advocate for change. It's important to use your voice to advocate for systemic change and social justice. Speak out against injustice and work to promote equality and fairness for all. But this is the time when most people are not speaking now. Well, I ain't going to really say it because I'm okay. I understand. My reach would be reduced greatly because ain't nobody going to come over to Rumble. They're going to say, what happened to LanceScurv? Even though he says, go to LanceScurv.com if you don't see me on YouTube. But the fact of the matter is that so many people are just so lazy to click a button and go elsewhere. Click a button when you don't see me and go to the site, LanceScurv.com. They'll say, well, I've been looking. I ain't seen you for weeks. What have I been telling you? I don't even try no more big time. I just say it regularly and just let it pass. Why didn't you text me? You should already know. I'm over here doing some work with this thing. Mrs. Scurv was fast asleep, and I told her I'm getting back up. I laid down a little bit next to her. We were talking about some plans for tomorrow, and I was falling and dozing. I said, no, it's not going to get me tonight. I'm going to use my last bit of strength and breath to put this little message out there. And here I am. And she got up. She said, it's kind of hot. I need some water. She said, I thought you're doing your show. I said, look at the banner over there. I'm getting it ready. Oh, okay. You know, I'll whip up a banner. Like that big lady in the kitchen whips up that meal. She got them big arms, and you know she can cook. So we have to also play smart as we advocate for change. Because I can just say things blunt and guarantee you that I'll be shadow banned even more or cut off completely. It just recently happened to a bodybuilding page. And there was legit reason for them doing that, because this is their house and this is their laws. If you're a smoker and you go to a non-smoker's house, you better go outside and step away from the house so the smoke doesn't come inside. Respect the premises. So a lot of us out here who talk the way we talk, we get mad when we get shadow banned or shut down for a little while. Oh man, see, look, when I get shut down, I'm like, listen, y'all, I'm still working every day. I'm still recording stuff. I'm still creating videos that I will throw up when I come back. I've done it so many times before. You're like, damn, Lance, you've been working. You've been off for a week and you got like 21 videos. Yeah, I said I'm gonna do 3 a day and flood the algorithms. They don't like that. But you also have to put things up elsewhere. I found out today that there's a particular plugin that was missing on my site. And I needed that to fill in some of the actual videos that I had on the other video site. But when they shut me down, it's an empty hole right now. So if you ever go to the site and it says video not available, let me know which particular post that is, because I have about 2 years worth of posts from 2022 all the way back to 2021, or maybe even 2020 toward the end. It's a lot of work, y'all. And this particular plugin gave me the URL, or the only part of the URL I needed to drop it in. Those posts are still there, but it has no video. Why was that gone? Who did it? My buddy, who is the only one who has access, he didn't do it. How'd that happen? See, you're always under attack when you're independent too. And you're not afraid to say, hey, listen, come on over to this side of town and we're going to really talk. They don't like that, the powers that be. And it's not just a little social media thing. They're connected to governments. They want to control what you say and have you scared. I'm not scared, y'all. I'm just smart. You ain't knocking me off of this thing where I can reach so many of my brothers and sisters and bring them over elsewhere where we can really talk. That would be dumb. That ain't cooning. Cooning is when you work with the government to later on lie to the people and woo them over to whatever the government wants you to do. Like I said, we got a lot of them out here, but they're not going to say stuff but for so far. If you're really about it, make some of the platform, make a branch of your platform and talk about the real deal. Because you can do that. Talk about the real stuff directly, name names. I'll do it. In my research over the years in the future, when I get names and different things, I'm going to take you to the side. Like, listen, we're going to have to go over this side of town so we can talk. They don't like that. You're thinking ahead of time. Number 9, develop problem-solving skills. Life can be unpredictable, so it's important to develop problem-solving skills and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. You'd be surprised how many of us could be book smart and we can't figure our way out of a simple issue or a simple challenge, or as what many people like to say, a problem. So many of us, we can't figure it out. There's a disconnect. We're not thinking. There's a lot of that over here, I have to say, because the way they have you in these schools, they don't have you questioning the teacher. You should, as a child, be able to question your environment. You know, when children are young and at home, mommy, what is this for? Well, mommy, what is that for? Well, you got to realize they're new to the world. So they're going to ask questions. It's a new world to them. But when you're raised up in a school where you're literally almost punished sometimes, I don't mean like punish, So you don't ask anything. So you have nothing to work on. You haven't developed that skill. Like I told you, I went to the restaurant not too long ago. And I told the waitress, I said, I want that particular meal, but I do not want anything hot on it. I don't want hot sauce. I don't want hot pepper. I don't want hot spices. I do not want to have anything hot on it. And we're looking at each other eye to eye. She says, okay. I said, do you understand? Yes, I understand. Nothing hot. Man, when she brought that plate back, man, I took a bite. My mouth was on fire. I was like, wait a second. Didn't I tell you? I hate to talk like that to people because they're dealing with your food, but I already had the food. I said, but I requested this, nothing hot. Oh, sorry. I am sorry. No, that's not good enough. What were you thinking? Oh, I forgot. Don't you think? Problem-solving skills. That's not even a problem. I told you what I didn't. And this happens so often. Am I complaining and putting down the people? No, but this is what it is. Like I said, do you get mad at the weatherman when he says it's going to rain today? I ain't listening to him. I'm not bringing no damn umbrella. I'm taking the drop top. And when I take the drop top, I'll fix it later because it can't close up. It stays open. Okay, be a fool with no umbrella and a drop top that stays open and the thunderstorm comes and wets you up. You think you in a pool driving around. You can't get mad at the weatherman for telling you like it is. It's crazy. Number 10, seek out mentors. Having positive role models and mentors can be invaluable for personal and professional growth. Look for mentors who can offer guidance and support as you navigate challenges and work toward your goals. I just want to say mentors, they don't have to be older than you. I just met a young man who's about 23 years old. He is so fabulous with audio and fabulous with graphics. And I'm going to compensate him to do some work that I can't do on a higher level, but I'm a damn sure learn what he knows. But I'll still keep him on the team. That's how you do. Well, I learned everything I had to know. I'm not going to use him no more. No, bless the brother. Maybe you both can work as a team and get more done and set up a side business. Just because I'm out here doesn't mean I'm limited to what's out here. The world is my customer when you're online. But most of us think so narrow that we don't see that you can make money, even if you start out small and build it up. Multiple streams of income. You can do it. You have something that somebody else wants and needs, a skill. You see what I mean? So there's a lot of knowledge out here, but it's laying stagnant because it's held in by most often a defeated mind. Speak to your elders. Some of them may be worn down, a little defeated, a little depressed because of the life that they lived and disappointments, and we're human. But they might have the knowledge, and by you asking them of something that they know, it will bring life to them because they'll know that they're needed. It's like, come on, I'd like to learn that. Really? It might be something as simple as sewing with a sewing machine, and you don't know how to, and this person knows how to make all these outfits. And you say, well, listen, help to teach me this, and we both can go into business. There's nothing you have to spend, but you will get paid fairly. And now you have breathed life in this older woman's life where her husband might have passed away 15, 20 years ago, and all her friends, and she's sitting up there lonely, just going to the church service, doing a little yard work and hurting. And when you see her dress up and come out to the world and do, you say, wow, look how productive she is. We have silver and gold right amongst us, and we don't even realize it. And we need to borrow off our knowledge also. And we need to straight take knowledge when we're on the enemy's jobs. They may see the potential in you and not want you to learn what they're teaching their family through nepotism or some of the same family because of their color. You can endure, but so much. But while you're there enduring the racism and treatment, Get them back by learning their damn knowledge. Make yourself better. Be on that mission. The jobs I've had, the things that I've learned are invaluable. Just like when you have the enemy's companies coming in to do your plumbing, to fix your heat, you stand over their shoulder. You ask what part is this and what part is that. You make a list. You take pictures. When he runs out to the truck, take pictures of everything. The boxes that the different parts come in. Research it. The next time you have that issue, you'll save a lot of money in your pocket. The more you can do for yourself and the more independent you can be, it makes it better for you and easier for you. Imagine we had to pay for everything that we can do for ourselves. If you can sew for yourself, you don't have to take it to the seamstress. If you can cook for yourself, you wouldn't be at the Chinese food joint and the fast food joint so much. You'd put your own love into your food for your family. So Mrs. Scurv makes a meal for me and she takes her time and does it with love. When I eat that thing make me, I mean, it's almost like Popeye. Biceps bulging. You see me gulp it down. I ain't Popeye, but that's the feeling I have. So those are 10 quick things that took an hour and 21 minutes to get through. And there's so much more. If I said I was going to do 25, I'll do 20. There'll be 15 more, 10 more. That's just off the top of the dome. But we have to think that way in order to come up with these things to share with our children, and even some of us who are grown, to reinforce things that we may have forgotten to put in practice. Now I dropped the link there. If anybody wants to add on or say anything, let's do it. I will be turning in soon. It is 1:17, way past my bedtime. Listen, this was the beginning for me. 1:17, that's early. But I have to think different. I have to. And let me just see here. Look, I missed most of the comments on the whole show, which are not many as much, but they're very effective. Okay, yeah. No, there's more. No, yeah, there's a lot. Thought I was near the top. I can't really answer each one or make a comment on each one because I'm going to wrap it down. And I'll give it a few more minutes for someone to come in if they wanted to say anything. But I had to get this out my system. There's no way I would feel this kind of passion in the morning time. Oh, I feel it in a different way, meaning that I will come and speak a different way. But this was in me to speak, and I'm going to have a nice, deep, long sleep. And I'm just so glad that I could accomplish that incrementally, a little bit at a time. It's easy to, go to sleep. No, I was severely beat down the other days. And Mrs. Scurv tells me we're going to find another nursery for plants. We're going to do a video there. So she says, don't stay up too late. We're going to get up, not to crack of dawn like I've been doing, but she'll let me sleep, eat a little breakfast, bing, and we'll be out. We'll do another little walk and talk. We'll do some interviews, whatever, wherever. And we have some shows tomorrow night when I come in, and I have Queen Midas, a.k.a. Miko, Sister Miko, that to put up, you see. And we're going to do our thing. We're going to continue to do our thing. And I'm not going to hold back on speaking, but I know how to speak. Meaning that I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying know how to speak in a way where YouTube can't touch me. They're going to ban the word rainbow. You know what I'm talking about when I say that. You understand? So we have our ways of speaking. That's that plantation thing. Singing Negro spirituals, and we're up under massa, and he sees us picking cotton. We're going to leave at the stroke of midnight. The Lord's going to come and take us. So you know it's midnight. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I just want you all to know that I love you all very much. I feel very connected. I feel very focused. And I feel damn good for 60 years old. I feel good. And it's for many reasons. But you're a big part of it. And you give me that drive and focus because we vibe with each other. It's not like I'm sitting here like some pastor, but I can share things. You all can share things. I've learned so much from you all here on the conference call line, in the chat room, in personal conversations, and it's uplifted me. And so I can't go a day without thinking about what I can share and add to the pot of righteousness and wisdom. You see what I mean? That's a beautiful thing. So that being said, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to get some sleep and we'll be back at it tomorrow. I might even try to do a live on my phone out there for sure. I hate doing it because the cheap phone that I have, it doesn't come out the way I like. I still got to get a better phone. Right now, that's not on the budget. Even a good used phone would be good. But what I'm saying is that I'll start doing more of those, but I'll record everything now. My bag is packed. I was out earlier today. I didn't have an opportunity to really grab anybody's attention. Whatever. Almost did, but the person didn't want to show their face. So I was like, that happens sometime. Police officers don't always shoot their guns for years or even in a whole career. We need more like that because I've known some like that. I do know some like that, you know? But anyway, thank you. Thank you, Cherry Ann, D. Ali, Landon Price, Oyala, Mixed Genre Faves, Indigo King, everybody who's here, Roy Reality. I could scroll up and go through everybody's name, but you know who you are, and I know who you are. It's a beautiful thing. So let me get ready to run, and I'm going to be in the bed soon. I'll play a song or two. You know that. Much love to you all. Peace. Let me just say, if you could still hear me, I have to put the music down. I have an easier way of getting to the conference line if you are not in the United States and can use this number. You have to go on to LanceScurv.com. On the home page, if you scroll down below the video and below the chat box there, you'll see the same number, right? That's the same widget that it says on the top. Click here to go into without having to call. So if you have a phone, you have a device, a tablet, a computer, and you're outside of the United States and think you can't get in, you can click that on LanceScurv. Just go to LanceScurv.com on the homepage, scroll down, and you see the same number. Click on that. It's going to take you to the chat room. I'm sorry, to the conference line. Getting a little sleepy here, right? So you don't need to call. You can be anywhere in the world, and as long as you have an internet connection, it's on and popping. And remember to mute yourself if you're not talking so we don't bring all that background noise into the conversation. All right? Much love to you all. Good night again.
Had a couple blocks in the road. I get to the bag on the low. Nothing on the stacks while I roll. Yeah, you know me, baby, won't you keep me, won't you keep me? Give me something to do when I get low, when I get low. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I come in town, you should slide on me. You might try, baby, I think you should side with me. Side with me, well, it's time, it will lie on me. Promise you never lie, keep the moves on top. I know it's all, everything good, keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all, know it's all, know it's all, know it's all. Feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget what you want me. And my brain wants you. I've been by myself, asking for help. Nothing to work on you. Yeah. You always make me feel like okay. You never leave my thoughts alone. You're the reason I'm going out. I just can't thinking about you. When you're away, do space, give me maybe a break for your mess. Give it, we take it, love that we make. It's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying it, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been by myself, asking for help, to work on you. Yeah. You always make me feel like okay. You never leave my thoughts alone. You're the reason I'm going out. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay on. You're the reason I can't get out. I just can't stop thinking about you. I just can't stop thinking.